All right, Chelsea, whenever you're ready.
All right, let's all imagine our picture-perfect wedding like the ones they have in the movies, where the bride's in the big, beautiful wedding dress and she's walking down the aisle behind her groomsmen and her bridesmaids, while all the guests are dressed in their immaculate outfits and the groom's waiting at the end of the aisle, waiting for his fiancée to transform into his ideal wife, where the love fills the room and everyone cannot escape it. Well, let's take away the impeccable dresses and the outfits. Let's take away the freedom to choose and the ring exchange and the love that fills the room. Now let's throw some red mud mixture on us and take off practically all of our clothing, leaving our chest completely exposed. And instead of walking down the aisle 30 feet, we are going to walk miles in the hot desert. Not the picture-perfect American wedding you once were picturing? Well, we have now found ourselves in Africa in a country called Namibia, where the Himba tribe experiences these wedding traditions on a regular basis, and this is how it's supposed to be to them. I've done hours of research on the marriage traditions and the culture in which these people partake in. I'm going to now share that knowledge with you on the ceremonies in which I've acquired the knowledge when it comes to pre-weddings, getting ready for the wedding, and the wedding itself. So my first topic being the ceremonies before the age of marriage is met. In southern Africa, this is where Namibia is on the southwestern side, and the Himba tribe is actually in the southern part of there, so to give you a visual of where we're talking about. These Himba people actually live a very different life than we experience here in the United States. According to Jane Wilkinson, they do not wear much, obviously, as I've said. Instead, they put ODGZ, which is a combination of butterfat, red rock powder, and a sap from a local tree. This is why they have this glowing red appearance that they have that helps them protect themselves from the sun because they are in the desert, and it also protects them from insects from attacking them. Another difference they have is that they do not wash their body. Instead, it's because of the lack of water, so instead they use a smoke from a sweet herb that they have, which allows them to freshen up, and it also allows them to apply perfume like girls would do here. The hairstyles also give a insight on the social status in which they have. For example, girls before they hit puberty have two braids coming forward, kind of like a ram, and as they get older, the hair starts going everywhere, and when they get of age to where they can pull it back, that shows that they're ready for marriage. With the guys, when they're single, they have a single braid going towards the back, which is kind of like a mohawk, and they shave the rest of their head. And when they're ready for marriage, they're going to have two braids instead of just the one. Now that pre-life to marriage has been covered, now it's time to prepare for the wedding. According to Mislav Popovic, their marriages are pre-arranged when the girl is born, and when they become 14 to 17 years old, it's time for them to get married. In a video I watched with Yvonne Powers, I watched a small child being forced to be married. She was crying and she was screaming as she was trying to exit the hut, but with the multitude of people that were for the marriage, she eventually had to succumb to the reality in which she was experiencing. Another thing they do in order to prepare for the wedding is female circumcision. Both boys and girls both are circumcised, but female circumcision is a foreign concept here in America. The procedure is actually, they go in and they slice the clitoris with a razor blade while the girl is awake. This keeps the girl a virgin, and it keeps her from bringing shame to her family and the man in which she marries. The girls are actually told to scream and actually be vocal about the pain it causes while the guy is forced to be quiet, or else it brings shame upon his family. Now with the couple being pre-selected and the necessary procedures being done, it's time to get hitched. The girl prepares herself in the hut, and when they're ready, all the females of that village start walking to the village where the husband is located. Once they get there, the young bride is forced to stay there for a few nights until she can return home. Once married, an arembe is placed upon the girl's head, which is a piece of goat leather, which is able to let everyone know that she is married. The guy is the one, he wears a turban over his hair to show that he's married, and once he's married, he becomes a man. But the girl does not become a woman until she bears a child. With the wedding being over, we've now reached the end of our learning period. So in conclusion, marriage is a very important aspect of the Himba tribe. Following their ceremonies when it comes to before the wedding, preparing for the wedding, and the wedding itself are really important to their culture. So now I ask you, imagine your wedding in your mind. Not a little different than the one you first originally imagined.